Hi, welcome back to the Reality Roundup. We've been gone for a minute, but we're back with the jump off. I'm Mariama. That's Maddie. This is our recap of the Challenge Season 40 Battle of the Eras, Episode 18, The End of an
Mm-hmm.
Era, Part 1.
Yes.
Hi, Maddie.
Hello, how are you, friend?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What do you think about this episode?
Um, well, this is my first finale at final ever. And as you predicted, it was going to be broken up into two parts. And this was, of course, the only episode this season where I remembered the name, and I was hoping you would let me say it. But
Oh, I'm
that's
so
it.
sorry.
That's that's okay. It's totally fine. I think it was good. I the overemphasis on swimming kind of bothered me a little bit, but other than that, I
Me
liked it.
too. Me too. I'm gonna God, yes. Me too, but we'll get into that. Where do we want to start?
Well, I had a question for you, just so I know. Is this how finals are normally run, where there's like multiple parts like
What do you
this?
mean?
Because it's like we got,
Like the checkpoints system
yes.
with yes,
Okay.
it's very common. Typically they're much more linear, so you're put in a desert, you're put in a rainforest, you're put in a
Hmm.
on a snow-capped mountain, and you have to like run up to the top of the mountain and work through. I think the coolest finals that we ever had. I mean, I might be biased because this is my favorite season is on free agents, and it starts. Oh God, now I'm gonna like I don't remember how it started off, but it starts off. I'm pretty sure it starts off with a boat ride with. I mean, not a boat ride with a row, so you have to row a distance
Okay.
to a checkpoint, complete a thing, and it also had. I think this was the first time where we saw this system where you have to like partner because it was three men and three women
Hmm.
competing for spots, and you have to like switch partner with a different man if you're a female competitor for each checkpoint.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so there was a swim, there was a run, and then there was like a hike and or a climb and like a rock climb. It was very cool.
Okay.
So they're
Okay.
typically more linear in that you're running because they've all been running. Like there's usually a swimming portion or a rowing portion, but the bulk of the finals typically is running a course. I think
Okay.
the
So it's
longest
very
we
much
had.
giving triathlon kind of situation
Yeah,
normally.
yeah. I mean, I think that's the basis. We mostly test your running, but we've had some where there's biking
Hmm.
elements, there are rowing elements,
Hmm.
there are running and hiking elements, and then after every certain miles or whatever, or every phase, depending on how long the finals is, you complete a checkpoint, and that checkpoint could be solving a puzzle. I
Okay.
think here we saw puzzle, but solving a puzzle, maybe eating something weird and strange or scary, like a pig's brain or a goat's head, or drinking a cup of
I
blood.
don't like. Was it you earlier or earlier this season who said, well, it had to be you. You don't like eating challenges. I don't know who
I
else was
don't I
gonna
don't
say
like
that.
eating challenges. I also don't like watching them as well. I think that has more to do with like the editing than the actual like interest of the challenge.
I don't remember what
Um
I said earlier this season, but I don't like eating
I didn't like
challenges.
this eating challenge that we had earlier this season. It was kind of disgusting to watch.
Ooh.
My favorite eating challenge that we had was on invasions. And it's the one where Corey has like a really long puke. If anybody knows, there's like 5 gallons of liquid.
Oh no.
They have to drink some type of like Thai soup, and it's like really really spicy, and none of them can handle it. And so people are like taking like spoonfuls, and then they're not only puking up the soup, they're puking up all the water they've been drinking and everything that's in their stomach along with
Oh
it.
God. Why couldn't an eating challenge be
I
like
like that
100
one. I
Snow
love
King
the
crab
slow mo of
legs?
the throwing up. I thought it was really cinematic, and also like they weren't eating anything disgusting. They were drinking soup. It just wasn't. They
Yeah.
just it just wasn't suited for their
Call
palate.
me when the challenge is eating 100 crab legs, and I will
There
demolish
was
it.
a challenge where it was. I think you had to eat enough to like gain weight. So it was whichever team gained the most weight. Like So all the teams came,
Diabolical.
you had a time, you had a certain amount of time to eat for, and you're literally just put in a room filled with food. So there's like a table, there's spaghetti and bread and steak and this and that and everything your heart could desire. Like nothing crazy, nothing disgusting, all like very normal,
But you
good
had to eat to
food.
excess.
You didn't have to. You could have just sat there and not ate. Like you weren't compelled to. But the challenge was like to eat enough to tip the scales higher than your opponent and to see who
Interesting.
would gain the most weight at the end. Um,
Hmm.
and I think you got disqualified if you or you had to stop eating if you puked. So you had to eat, you had to engorge yourself without throwing any of it up for the time limit, if I'm remembering correctly. But if you threw up at any point before that time, you couldn't continue eating. You would just have to go.
Oh Lord. Okay, that's a guess. I don't know about all that.
It honestly, looking at that, they ran like a crazy final to that point already as well too, and then they got to that portion. I would have been really happy to see that food. Like
You know,
I probably wouldn't have cared about eating to like tip a scale. I mean, maybe, but like I would have been so happy that like I would have
that's
just been sitting
valid.
there chopping on little steak, little baked potato, maybe little frites.
That's fair. After like surviving whatever was happening before, I probably would have just been eating to eat.
Yeah, just enjoying my food. Oh wow, thank you.
Yes.
Um, okay, let's get started. Where do we want to start?
Well, karma vote. Oh my gosh, we have to start with the karma
Yeah,
vote.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do we feel about the reaction to the karma vote? Or well, to the revelation, I guess.
I don't think they were great. Like, I don't think anybody was upset, but like it was very clearly that like production had told them like you're shocked, like be shocked. It seemed they all seemed produced, I should say.
Fair enough. I did like the little retrospective of like all of the past people going, well, not all the past, a good percentage of past people
Yeah, I
going
like that as
through.
well.
There were people that I forgot about.
Same.
I was like, who are you? And then I was like, oh, okay, I think maybe I
Same.
don't remember them. It was really bad.
What,
Um, what was the first what was the first checkpoint called? I didn't write it
it
down.
was called Sandblast, but first we see their accommodations.
Oh, yes,
And
the boat, the
and
sinister.
Jenny gets on time and immediately like she's like already pissed.
She's very upset. She was very upset. She's very upset at the beginning and the end of this
She's
episode.
very upset. Like, yeah, like she's very upset at the beginning and the end. And I was like, honestly, at the end, I was like, well, this is why people don't like the Brits, bro. Like the complaining was
I
so.
won't even lie. I thought the exact same thing. I was
I
like, this is
was,
very British. Be quiet.
I was like, right. I was like, seriously, like, calm yourself. Like, what is
And the
going on?
complaining, oh my gosh, this is anti-Anglo-Saxon. But the complaining in her accent, I was like, please, please stop. Please.
But
Sorry,
like,
girl.
I think I knew Jenny had a twin sister, but like I was shocked to find
They're
out today that
twins.
Jenny had a twin sister because they are identical. I didn't even like, even though their hair was different and Jenny currently had the hair that was in the photos, I still didn't know. I wasn't sure which one she was.
They are the only thing separating them was hair color in those photos.
Yeah,
They are twins,
good
twins.
for her. Good on her.
Yes.
Do you want to
Yeah.
get into the checkpoints now?
The
The
breakdown of
wow,
the
the
prize money
floor.
was my question for you.
Yeah, what about it?
Is this a normal breakdown for prize money where like it is $1 million, but it's like divided up into three places?
Is 400 and 400 for the top guy and girl, right? I don't remember
Uh,
second and third place.
top guy and top girl. I thought it was just first, second, third, no matter who.
No, no, no. The women are competing against
You muted yourself.
the women are competing against each other and the men are competing against each other.
Oh, then how is that? Okay, I should have wrote that down.
So 400K to the winning man and 400K to the winning woman. So first place would dole out 800K.
For a man and a woman, and then we break down from there.
Yeah,
So
and
then
I
what
don't
the heck is
remember,
second place?
huh?
Because then that only leaves
I
what,
just, I just,
200?
yes, I like this. I like this a lot. So I was just trying to get the details of it.
Hmm.
Second place is 75,000 each, so 150, and then 25,000 each to third place. I like
There
this
we
a lot.
go.
This is
Okay.
actually, we talked about this in a previous episode, and I was like, this is exactly the breakdown that I would want. Like the lion's
Okay.
share, which obviously they were produced to say that because they multiple people said it multiple times. The lion's share of the $1 million is split between the first place. And I like one that we have like the men competing against men and the women competing against the women. Because
Gotcha.
I don't like having like a singular winner. Um so I do like having like a male and a female winner
Okay.
a lot. And then taking 800K. I I also like because we've done a few where we didn't give out any money to anybody that didn't win, so you had to win first to get money. And then what ended up happening is the contestants started giving money from their winnings to everybody, and I
Oh.
I don't like that at all.
Oh.
You should have won, baby. uh, why am
Yep.
I
Fair
going to
enough.
give
Fair
you
enough.
50,000 from my your wallet? Um,
Oh, I don't know about 50,000.
no, that's what they was doing.
Oh,
Do
maybe
about
10,
50,000 a piece and do about 20. Yeah, nah,
maybe
nah,
5.
500. A gas card, $25.
Not a gas card, please.
No,
I'll
I
pay your
like this.
phone
I
bill
like
for
this.
a
I
month.
like this quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
The first thing I have is Kylan, what is going on? He cannot swim.
yes, and we knew that though. Like this
Wait,
is
we should
why
probably
this
talk
is.
about the rules of the checkpoint though.
Yeah, well, we let's talk about the final. So essentially, the way
Okay.
the final is gonna play is that the contestants, we were introduced to Sinister on the last episode that we watched. So the
Hmm.
contestants are going to start and end each checkpoint at the Sinister, which is the boat that they're currently standing on.
Yes.
They will swim from the Sinister um, to their next checkpoint, complete a task, puzzle, and then swim back to the Sinister to collect a token with their place. And the tokens are numbered 1 through 4 to represent their place, and obviously the man and woman with the lowest number, so with the most first place and second place finishes, are going to
Oh,
win the
see,
entire.
that's the part I missed about the tokens because I was like, are we just getting them and giving them back? But we're collecting like the series of them.
Yeah, so it's going
Okay.
to be the sum of the points. Well, I guess it's not really the least, it's the most. I forgot if they said oh, they didn't say. That was CJ's thing. Like, so each checkpoint is worth a certain amount of points, and we
We
don't
don't
know what
know.
they're worth. So we can go 10, 5, 3, and 2. And so first place is worth a certain amount of points. Second place is worth a certain amount of points, et cetera, et cetera. And then at the
Okay.
end, the sum of your checkpoint points and the sum of your karma votes are added together, and that's going to be your placement.
Okay.
So
Thank
if
you.
you have 50 points total and then 3 from karma votes, they somebody might be able
53
to catch
points.
up or even pass you.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was a little bit confused about the token situation. And so
Mm-hmm.
then our first checkpoint is the sand one, which is
Sandblast.
sandblast.
Hold on, pause for the cause.
So checkpoint one is sandblast,
Yeah.
and as I remember the rules, we are swimming from the sinister. We're getting to the sand. We're running a significantly long distance to get. Oh. No, it's fine. Hold on. Okay, we're running to a significantly long distance. We're getting our puzzle pieces, and then we're solving our puzzle, and then we're swimming back to the Sinister. And this is where Derek has his recalling them penalty from losing last time.
Yeah, so Derek has a 3-minute penalty, so he has to sit on the sinister for that long after everybody else jumps off. But it doesn't really. I
Oh,
mean,
he makes it up.
yeah, Derek got a mulligan in Kylan today.
And are we ready to talk? You're gonna cut this. Why do I feel slightly embarrassed that the only black person left can't swim?
Because you're kind of ridiculous. I don't feel
Thank you.
embarrassed because he's black. I feel embarrassed because he's embarrassing himself, and I feel a little like empathetic towards him. I like
Why does he swim so badly? Am I
because he
I'm
doesn't
being
know how to
mean.
swim. Like for me, like I get it. Like, but I've been watching the show long enough to see a very diverse amount of cast members. Like we do always like point it out when they're black, and it's just because it's kind of like funny. But like, but like I've seen a very diverse like number of castmates on the show not be very good at swimming,
Okay.
despite knowing, despite all. I mean, Kylan specifically knowing and being a super fan and knowing that it's a possibility that you will be asked to swim on multiple occasions in a season.
Oh,
And just
yeah.
like I don't think like I think he didn't learn like as somebody who's tried to learn to swim in adulthood, I wouldn't be any of those people on any day. Like I think he didn't know how
But
to
you know how to
swim.
swim now.
We've already had this conversation, no ma'am. And it doesn't matter if I know how to swim and float and kick. I'm not beating people who've been spending time in the water
That's
like
fair.
since they were kids, and who
Like
some of who
Rachel.
have competed in swimming competitions, like and have like actual technique for distance swimming, for like
Yeah.
endurance swimming. So it's embarrassing for Kylan, but I also think that like I think this is kind of I think this is a cool finals design because it is novel, and I like that. I like that we're changing things up and we're throwing in something new. I really do wish that we were just running. Like I wish
That's
I
fair.
wish like the swimming was like, the first part. I hope like tomorrow we're I mean not tomorrow. I hope on day 2 we're
But
running.
they seem really dedicated to the
I
sinister
know. I
bit.
think they are too, and I'm very sad
Yeah,
for Kylan and Rachel
absolutely.
and
I
Tori,
mean,
so.
um, I would just like to say that well, not making, but Tori having to do all the swimming after literally treading water for 3 hours yesterday, what I perceived to be yesterday.
Yeah,
I was
yesterday.
kind of like, oh, good Lord. Oh my gosh, my body would
Yeah,
hurt so much.
again, that's why I didn't like that. Like, I feel like if we knew we were doing this for the final, I know we just wanted to have that moment of like, welcome to the sinister in the middle of the night. But like, we've done the thing where we've pulled people right from the arena to the next challenge start point or to
Hmm.
the next thing, right? Like, have the I hated last week's elimination, so or the previous elimination. Have the
Okay.
elimination in the sand when you know car walks or when they walk, whatever, take them and tell them you're not going home. Don't worry about it. We're going, and put them on a boat in the dark, like right. Put them on some jeeps in the middle of the jungle in the dark with like the little like spotlights or whatever that y'all have on your camera, and just dark them like they're just like oh my god, what's going
And
on?
throw them on a boat.
Yeah, throw them on a boat and be like, this is where you're
That's
sleeping
funny.
tonight. Welcome to the finals. Like I think that would have been compelling TV as well too.
I actually really do like the way that you just said that. This is where you're sleeping tonight. Welcome to the finals. I love that. This is why I think that you should be a producer.
What did you think of this sandblast competition outside of Kylan being unable to swim?
I mean, Derek catching up was very important to me. And then the puzzle, like the totem puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
was another part where I was worried about Kyland because he just like could not crack the
Yeah,
totem.
you know what? When I was watching this, I was like, I don't know. Like we've stamped Kylan as next up. He's supposed to come in and be our next big name guy, our next like king on the throne.
Mhm.
And I said it earlier this season. I was like, Kylan has a lot of hype, and I don't think that he's really like proven. I
Kyland
don't
the
think that
computer.
I don't think that he's like really like proven, and people have a lot of faith in him, and I just don't know if I've seen it. And then like he won a couple of number ones, and I was like, oh okay, this is why like this is these are the flashes that we've seen, and this is why we're
Yeah.
stamping him so tough. This was one of those days because like when he was struggling on that totem puzzle, I solved the puzzle off of like of the several frames that they just showed
Yeah.
like in the thing, so easy.
It was one of our easiest puzzles, if not the easiest puzzle.
Yeah, so easy. Like, and it was like foam. I was like, at least make it rock, put some weight to it. Like, disadvantage some of the people
Oh, it
on
was very
land
light, you're right.
that would have been advantaged in the water, right? Like, so if it's a thing like, okay, Derek is really good in the water, make the totem a little heavy, so now maybe he struggles a little more compared to the other guys or even Jordan,
Yeah.
right?
It
But
was like styrofoam.
it was styrofoam. Like
Yeah.
Jordan said it because Michelle asked, because Michelle was like, I know I just did good in the water. She goes, is it heavy? And Jordan goes, no, it's foam.
Well, yeah. So do you think we would have this? How would you conceptualize Kylan's season if we didn't have that overarching foolishness about him like being next up and being a computer?
Oh, how would I? No, I think he's had a great season anyway.
Okay.
right? Like I think he's had a great season anyway. I what the computer comment doesn't mean a lot to me. It is expressly about like his physical prowess. The comments related to like
Oh,
how fit he is, his physical prowess.
yeah.
I know that like people often like put in like, hey, and he's also very smart, which he is. Like we know that.
Mhm.
Like just because
He
you're
said
smart
something
doesn't,
very nerdy this episode.
huh?
He said something very nerdy this episode about the coins and the counting, and he was like, "I'd love to count," and I was like,
Yeah, he
"Okay."
does stuff like that all the time. He knows his reputation, and he like
It's
he
giving
plays
autism.
into it a lot. They all do. But yeah, I think he's had a good season. I think he's had a really good season. I think like if Kylan loses, like if Kylan gets fourth place in this finals and it's all in water, I don't think that like that's gonna change. I think everybody's gonna go, why would we put a finals all in water? That's why he lost. Well, maybe he'll get better at swimming, right? But and then people are gonna keep go, man. But if it was on land though, he had a real shot. Even
That's
though
fair.
like we're kind of watching him struggle on the puzzles too. But that
Yes.
might honestly just be because like mentally, like you're just like I like when you're like swimming your heart out, you're afraid, you're scared you're about to drown, and then you're seeing other people just like breezing past you, like
Yeah.
people are leaving the beach 10 minutes after you and they're
Oh, it
easily just
hurt.
catching up to you and like sailing by like
I want to know why was it? Well, I guess he doesn't know, but I feel like you should have used his little paddleboard that they were all attached to, and just kicked to shore because the rest was not doing well. The
yeah.
arms were not helping. Oh, poor Kylan. Okay.
Do you have places? I
Ye-
mean, we can go first
Yeah,
and second. I
places.
don't really care.
Well, we're gonna do all of them. First, Jordan Michelle. Second, Derek Jenny. Third, Bananas Tori. Fourth, Kylan Rachel. Wait, what happens to? Oh, Rachel struggles with the puzzle, doesn't she?
Yes, and she
Yeah.
struggles with the swimming a little bit. I think she's was she. Who was the last out of the water? I don't remember. It's all good.
I don't. Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Um,
Yes.
checkpoint two.
Ghost ship.
Go ship.
So we're doing this, back to the sinister out foolishness again. But this time we move the boat, don't we? This is when we start moving the boat.
The Sinister is placed. I don't really care where the Sinister is located, but there's a second boat.
Well, yes, but we move the sinister because remember everybody has to stand on their little circle, and
Oh
like
yeah,
hold
when we
on.
travel to a different location. Yeah, I don't think that
Yes.
really mattered. Y'all could have just had them stand still.
But do we get any answers to like if they fall out of the circle or anything like that, or they just have to stand in
No,
the
we don't get we
circle?
don't get we don't get any type of clarity on what happens if they fail to remain in the circle
Okay,
or if
so
they
yes.
sit down. Because I was curious about that. I was like, can I just squat if my feet are just in the circle?
In the circle, yeah. So the Sinister moves to another boat, an abandoned boat. The rules here are we gotta dive off of the Sinister, go to the other boat. We have a puzzle that we have to solve, but the key to the puzzle is underneath the abandoned boat. So you
Mm-hmm.
gotta dive, look at the thing, come back up, solve the puzzle, dive, look at the thing, come back up, look at the puzzle.
And there are nearly identical pieces. So some of the pieces look very similar,
Yeah,
but they have minor differences. So this really is about speed, but also like attention to detail.
yeah,
Because it wasn't really hard. I think I forgot to count how many squares were in the puzzle, the grid, but it was probably like a 6x4, 6x5 grid.
yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say at least 12.
and it went by pretty quickly for most people. The issue
Mhm.
really did just come down to, did they notice that some of the pieces that looked identical weren't, and I also thought like I thought the details were going to be like super minor where you had to like look close. They weren't. Like I feel like I would have caught like a few of those like
Yeah, because
almost
we see that
instantly.
with Michelle in one of the barrels, right? That's why she gets
Yeah.
fourth place, is she like didn't notice something that actually, upon retrospect, was pretty obvious.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. That I was trying to look at I don't know if it was like TNT or something. There were some other ones that like weren't. I think maybe that was the only one, but like that one was pretty obvious. Like some of the other ones, if there were differences, it was hard to spot on TV for me personally. But
Absolutely. Because I don't
that's
think we get,
but
we
that's
don't ever get just like we don't get as an audience like a clear picture of the
I
bottom.
mean you can pause it like it's at an
Oh, I
angle, but
guess
you
you're
get
probably,
like all the squares are visible, and you can pause it. I don't tend to
yes.
play along with games like this because I'm just like.
I mean, it's,
um so we see Jordan and Jenny figured out. I must say I am quite impressed by Jenny's puzzle skills. I
I
didn't
don't,
expect her to have this.
yeah.
I've always thought of Jenny as a little bit like dumb.
Oh, mess.
um, I
Does
didn't expect
she,
I didn't expect her to have this in her bag.
we have to see her with other puzzles earlier in the season, but for the life of me, I can't remember how she did with any of them.
She had one win this season. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I think it was the containers. So there wasn't a puzzle in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we saw her like win a puzzle. Mm.
I don't think so, but I also can't remember. So it must mean she was largely in the middle if it didn't go
So
terribly.
again, Kylan is last swimming too, I think, and then Jenny and Michelle. Jenny and Michelle are in a really, and I will say the person who most benefits from this finals format is Michelle. Although
Why?
like I don't, because she's a swimmer. Like she's a damn good swimmer.
Hmm,
At
fair
that
enough.
too. So yeah, she's a really good swimmer, and I think that like if this was like an endurance run, like
Hmm.
I think she'd be the least advantaged. So like her odds
Mm,
of winning or her ability to place in the money are greatly, or her chances I should say, are greatly improved having this taking place
the
majority
swimming.
over water.
Yeah.
Um yeah,
Uh,
especially in swimming because I think also if it
Mirror
was like
image of Kyland.
yeah, yeah. Mirror image
There's,
of Kylan. Like,
yeah.
yeah, entirely. So
Wait.
so we see Jordan and Jenny kind of knock this out and go.
Hmm.
Tori knocks us out and Michelle asks for a check right around the time Tori does, and she has a mistake. And then we
Yeah.
see Rachel knock it out. Or whatever. And then once Michelle finally figures it out, she tells Derek. I wasn't. I know. I thought she told Derek and Kylan, but we only saw Derek mention.
Yeah, I think we only see Kylan, but I couldn't, or Derek, I couldn't imagine Kylan was that far away, unless maybe he was already under the water.
I feel like she told both of them. That's initially I thought she was actually talking to Kylan, based on the editing, and then we see her like because she repeats it multiple times. So I think she repeated it to both of them. It is what it is. Jordan and Jenny placed first. This is Jordan's second first place in a row.
Yep.
Jenny's first. And then Bananas and Tori placed second, so they both bump up from third in the previous round. And
Yeah.
then Derek and Rachel placed third. Derek knocks down one. Rachel pops up one. And then Michelle goes from first to last. And
Yes.
Kylan is still in last
I
place.
love the idea of Bananas and Tori just for the drama of it being locked in.
Yeah.
I hope they continue to be
They're
locked
all these
in.
people like are kind of obsessed with each other. They like each other even when they're like fighting.
Well,
They're like
it's
obsessed with each other. Like
it's
even
giving
Bananas
family.
and Devin. Um Checkpoint 3, I'll take this. 1,000 steps.
Yeah.
The players have to swim to shore again. So the sinister moves again, like Maddie said. They have to swim to a shore. They're brought to a different island, which I thought this was kind of cool. Or a different
Very cool.
beachfront. It looks like a new island. They have to swim to a shore and then make their way up these like stairs that aren't much of stairs anymore. It's just
No,
like few
they seem to have
few
been there for
leftover
quite a
bricks,
while.
like, and you're just trekking through rainforest, honestly.
Truly, yes.
And they have to stay on path and find instructions along the way that will lead them to their next clue.
Hmm.
Finally, it takes them to an instruction that tells them they have to follow a marked path. This I was worried for my girl Jenny. They have to follow a marked path to the beach and then swim out from a specific location to a floating platform, sit on a
Hmm.
platform, and then find an image in the trees,
Oh, that was so
and
cool.
then run back to a puzzle station, construct the image on their board before they could go. And if they got it wrong, they'd have to do the whole pathing through the trees and back onto the beach, and back to the platform again. And the image was
You didn't have to do the 1,000 steps again though, did
no,
you?
no, no, no.
No.
The image was a skull that had been painted on trees that would
So cool.
align if you were at like a specific angle. It was really cool.
It
Wish
was
it
really
wasn't a
cool.
skull, but it was really cool.
Yeah, this call was a little bit dramatic, but I love I don't perception art kind of like that where you can like move and see like different things. I love stuff like that.
I wish that maybe you could get the wrong image if you sat at the wrong spot.
But where would you sit on the wrong spot?
Like you can do that. Like I've seen that where like if you view the image like at a certain orientation, maybe there's different
Yes.
coloring or whatever in there, or like the
But like
shadows
the
are in different
platform
places.
itself was so small.
The well, no, the platform was like wide enough that
You
like
think
that
if you
it would
sat
it would have to
wrong?
be very minor, like right, like you would have to have
Interesting.
like maybe two perspectives at most, and then it would just simply just come down to somebody like seeing an image and not like moving to see if the image changes, and
Changes. Yeah, fair
that's all
enough.
you'd be counting on. um
Ooh, I love that.
so I was worried about Jenny because like we saw Jordan read the thing, and then because he was the first one there, and then we saw, and Jenny was like right with Michelle or slightly ahead of her,
Hmm.
and then they show us Michelle reading the thing by herself at the same time that they show us Jenny on the beach. And I never saw Jenny read the post. So I was like, did she not get the rules? Like, why is she already
Oh,
on the beach? Shouldn't she always like be walking it past? So I thought maybe she made a mistake.
I think
And
only
like,
one person makes him. Tori
well,
has
no, no,
to.
Tori solves the puzzle wrong. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I just thought Jenny
Mm,
had skipped like one of the instruction posts and then saw Jordan and
yes.
just ran right out to the beach. So I was like, oh my God, is she going to get a penalty, or she's going
Well,
to do
yeah.
this thinking she knows what she has to do? And then when she goes and tries to construct it, they're going to be like, no, you have to do another lap. And Michelle was so close to her and such a good swimmer that I was like, damn, this might be exactly what Michelle needs to
To
get
get ahead.
another first place and mitigate that blunder in round two.
Yes.
But
Who
that
are
doesn't happen.
our winners?
Jordan and Jenny win, which I'm very happy about. It was a neck and neck race between Jenny and Michelle on a swim back to the boat, but Jenny held out. And then Bananas and Michelle come in second place. Bananas did really well. Um, he started off well. He was like way back there at some point. Like he was like, wasn't he like hung back with Kylan at one point?
I
Because
think
we
so.
saw Derek, Tori, and Rachel all sort of like grouped up in that middle pack, trying to like push each other through it. And
Was it
I
the
saw like
steps or the swim?
on the steps,
On the steps, yeah.
and I saw Bananas. Yeah, because Derek beat Bananas out of the water. Like Derek like got out of the water before Bananas, but like somehow, oh, Bananas came up and caught up on the puzzle. That's how. So he caught up on the
Yes.
puzzle and passed Derek. And our boy Kylan
Oh,
was
Derek.
still walking
And peeing on signs.
and peeing. What did you think here?
I think it was fine. I was so scared when like Tori like messed up and like had to go back. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my gosh. And because I love Miss Deal. I've decided I love her. And so I was like, no. But other than that, my chief thing was once again alarm at the fact that Kylan was struggling as much as he was. But other than that, I
Yeah,
mean, at this point in time, we're three checkpoints in, and Jordan's like smashing it every time. So I wasn't really
yeah.
surprised at the
Jordan
top.
is setting a blistering pace in the water.
Yeah.
Like he is creating so much distance in the water that he's essentially running these checkpoints by himself. Like especially in checkpoints 2 and 3. Like
Yeah.
he's alone. Like he's
He's
get
absolutely crushing it.
um last one. Do you want to take this?
Yes, the overnight checkpoint that confuses the heck out of me currently, but in they get I think I don't know if they get a little bit of dinner at some point in time, but then they
Yeah,
have
they do.
to there's like a bag of coins. They look like real coins too. A
Oh,
bag of coins and like a treasure chest kind of piggy bank thing with a slit in the top. And then they have to spend 30 minutes counting those coins. A little unclear to me, maybe clear to you, if they have to remember the number of coins. And so
mm-hmm.
they're adding on over time, I think is what it is. Okay. And then after 30 minutes, they have to go up top as a group, and then they have to sing this sea shanty, if you will, for 30 minutes continuously, though unclear what would happen if you stopped singing. And then they have to go back down, rinse and repeat, and do the coins until the morning.
This is when we try to up the ante for the sake of upping the ante.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, until they count all the coins. Sorry.
we'd had a great day one of the finals to now. They're already sleeping on cots. If you want to sleep deprive them
Exactly.
a little bit more, make them stay up. Give them right, like just give them like little like BS. Hey, you must balance this. Like give them some like little tasks. This honestly, counting the coins is fine. Like give them a task of like count the coins until you finish before you can go to sleep, and then whoever is the closest tomorrow gets an advantage. Like I would have been fine with that. The
Yeah.
singing was so stupid. This was like camp for camp's sake. This was like we're just gonna throw something in there.
It was
um
torturous too. Like I was just like, okay.
it's already like everybody's gonna lose count. They're already tired. It's been a long day.
Jenny's very
um
unhappy.
yeah, Jenny is talking, which that would have pissed me off, especially if I'm trying to keep account of something. But like this task is like simple enough. I don't need the singing part. They don't need the singing part. I don't think it adds anything to it. If they were doing like some sort of like a challenge, some sort of like task that required like
Mhm.
actual, because like part of the time half of them weren't singing, like and there were a few
That's what
people
I
who were
said.
like really trying to hit them notes, but nobody else was. No, the counting. I feel like they could have just had them count that bag until you finish. If you want to sleep,
Yes.
count until you finish, and then like put everybody in a room in one area to count. When you're finished counting, write down your number, drop it in the box, and then you can go to bed, right?
Yeah.
And also that way, like if you can count fast and be accurate, you get more sleep than your competition. And if you're
Yeah.
Kylan, might need it.
And you might need it. I'm hoping that this, well, I don't think it's gonna make too much of a difference depending on what day two of finals looks like. But I just would like Kylan to at least do well on this one thing.
For what? Learn to
Because
swim,
I
baby.
like
I
him.
mean, I like him too, but he can't swim. Like, I don't care. Like,
I just I would like Kylan to have a win simply for the fact that I like him.
oh no, I don't do like
I know you
victories
don't.
for likes. I don't do moral victories. No, be better, be good, get good.
Not a moral victory.
I mean,
And so
get
this is
good.
where we leave off, right? There's no elimination or anything
Yeah,
like that.
we
That's
leave
just
off
where we
on a
leave off.
on a cliffhanger of them counting and Jenny complaining,
Oh my gosh. Just will not stop
berating. Oh
yapping.
God, Jenny already has a voice on her, and like to have that, and like read the room, sister. Like nobody is engaging with you. Like they want you quiet, and Jordan got tight, like very
Yeah,
pissed.
he did. He said, I
I would
think
have
he
been
says,
very
like, shut
upset
up.
too. Like at that, like I'm tired, I'm cold, I'm wet, probably. Like I got
And
this.
again, I
They
just
served
don't
me
want to
this
hear the
cold.
British complaining.
Yeah, they served me this cold Vietnamese chicken. Oh, I'm not. I ain't got time for this because I know that food wasn't hot.
I did not even think the Sinister was a functional boat. When they said we're moving the
Somebody.
Sinister, I was like, moving the Sinister where? With a tugboat? Like, this does not look like a functional boat. I was
Yeah.
very surprised.
Cool concept for the final. I can't wait to see the next day. Please
Yes.
finish strong. We've already established something
Who do you
right
want to
now.
win?
Who do I want to win? At this point, I still do one. I still do want Jenny to win. Um, I want Jenny and Rachel top two. Although I don't know if Rachel can. Rachel's placed third. Oh well, she had a fourth place. Okay,
Oh,
Rachel
that's
has not
right.
placed higher than third. And I think she's struggling with the swimming as well. Like she's not as strong of a swimmer as these other people. Um,
I don't know what I
and she's not
want.
really doing well on like she needs to be blistering on these puzzles, and that's not really her strong suit. So
We
we
need
need some we need
two.
some more we need like more physical like muscularly taxing
Yeah.
checkpoints next round to get any sort of a shakeup, especially amongst the women. But even amongst the men, I think like Bananas might be able to eke out a first place finish like one time and make it interesting.
Oh, I forgot
Otherwise, like
the good
Jordan's gonna
moment.
run away with it. And honestly, for Jordan's sake, I really do hope he wins. Like he has like real goals.
I want him to
Like he wants
win.
to go be a full time race driver. Like let that man get his dub so he can dip off. Um,
I think I want Jordan to win. At, at
yeah,
seeing
I
the
think he
first half
deserves
of
it. He's
this.
ran the game. He's been in the driver's seat the entire time. Um, like especially in the individual game, like he's been in the driver's seat or he's been deeply influential with his alliance the entire time.
Mhm.
He's performed really well. He has like a wonderful like legacy that can, and I think he's probably not coming back frequently after this. But I think he'll be back. I think he loves this thing like
He
way too
seems to be
much.
having a fun time, yes.
Um, and yeah, I think if he doesn't come back, because it sounds like he's kind of gearing to take like a hiatus at least if not retire entirely. If he doesn't come back, I think it'd be good for his legacy. He's already made a like had a huge print, like left a huge imprint on the game.
So only two people, one man and one woman, are not going to get anything at all. So who do you, in terms of prize money, who do you think it's going to be? Or
I'm
who do you
sorry.
want it to be?
You said who do I think is going to finish in last?
Yes, like complete dead last and not get
Kylan
any
and
prize
Rachel at this
money.
point, just based on the places. Well, I guess the karma points are gonna come into a
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm thinking.
But I honestly still think Kylan and Rachel. I don't like who's giving. Well, maybe all of Era One is giving Rachel a five. But like I think Kylan and Rachel, and I think Kylan and Rachel because I don't see if the competition remains as it is. I don't see Rachel or Kylan getting higher than a third place finish in any more of the remaining checkpoints,
Yeah.
and I don't think either of them are going to have enough karma points to boost them up an entire level. I think if
Mm,
Tori gets a couple of second place finishes and maybe like a first, like she puts herself in a really good position to finish second overall. Like
yeah,
Michelle has
agreed.
one first place finish and one second place finish and then a fourth place finish. Tori hasn't finished lower. Oh no, Tori did have a fourth place finish on the 1,000 steps. Okay.
Yeah.
So Tori and Michelle are kind of like locked in right now, right? They both have a second place finish. They both have a fourth place finish, and Michelle is slightly ahead with a first place finish where Tori finished third.
Hmm.
So all that needs to happen is Tori gets like a couple of top twos. If there are three more checkpoints tomorrow,
Yeah.
a couple of top twos, and then ekes out a number one, and she's in second place. That's assuming like if Jenny remains towards the top, if Jenny doesn't drop lower than third. But I think
Yeah.
Jenny has done enough to like really lock down um
I think
a
so.
good opportunity to win on the coins. I don't know how she'll look on the karma votes, but if the
Yeah.
karma vote, like honestly, the worst thing that could happen is if the karma vote like takes someone who wasn't even able to like win a single first place finish like on their own, if it takes them and puts them in first place,
If
that
it,
would like
yeah,
actually piss me off. Like if
if it's
Derek is
weighted too
like
much.
finishes third overall or whatever, and Bananas just like he and Bananas are really close, and Bananas just ekes out a second, and then like karma votes take Derek up to second, I'd be like, okay, cool, like that's fine. Bananas, you
Yes.
should have treated people nicer. You lost $50,000 because you didn't. But if I lose 325 grand because the people who weren't smart enough to out strategize me, strong enough to out like play me to outwin me, don't like me because I beat them at the game that we're playing, I'm airing it out. Like
I knew you were. I
I'm
listen.
I'm in the trunk. Like it's in the trunk. Like I'm going to my car. Like what are we doing
I
here?
think that's valid. I think it's fair. I
I
do.
feel like if that's just me though. If I lose first place because Veronica gave me a one and I've only had one conversation with her in my life because I just met her and she was gone by episode like whatever, like three. If I lose because of that,
Yeah, I know.
should no challenge producers ever stop looking over their shoulders? I'm on a John Wick tour. Like you're out of your mind.
I think that's completely fair. I would just like to say that my ideal finishing top to bottom at this point would be Jordan, Derek, Kyland, Bananas for obvious reasons. And then I wanted to be Tori, Jenny, Rachel, Michelle.
Okay, that's cute, but like, why would that be a thing? Like, like not to be a hater. Why would you just like ignore the facts of like what's likely to happen? What's probable to
Because
be like?
that's
If I
my,
was like just
I want
making
to
a
do
fantasy
it.
draft, like that's not what we're doing here. What do you think is gonna happen? Make like a
Well,
prediction,
I
not
think Jordan is going to win for the men.
okay. Yeah, like
Um,
make a prediction though. Like Kylan's
oh,
not getting third place. Like
fine. I think based on what we know, I think it's going to be Jordan. Ooh. with or without with karma, I think it's going to be Jordan, Derek, Bananas, Kyland.
Mm-hmm.
With karma, I think it's going to be Jenny, Tori, Michelle. Ooh. Jenny, Tori, Rachel, Michelle.
You think so? Rachel, I want to tell you, Rachel hasn't
Karma,
placed higher than third place. Rachel has been either third or fourth in every one so far. And
Jenny, Tori,
Michelle
Michelle,
has a
Rachel.
first place finish.
Jenny, Tori, Rachel, Michelle. No, I'm trying to say the opposite. Oh, Jenny, Tori, Michelle, Rachel.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think the for the men and the
Jenny, Tori.
women, the really key positions to watch are second and third. Like I said,
Mm.
Tori, if Tori wins out tomorrow, which she could very much do, I've seen Tori do
Please, Miss Deal.
freakier things. If I keep saying tomorrow, that's
Freakier
I mean
thing.
that's not a call to her OnlyFans either. I haven't seen that. If Tori um if Tori like wins out on day two, she could very much take over number one. I think she might do better in karma voting than Michelle. Although Amanda did go home.
Angry.
Amanda did go home. And angry. And Aviv went home and Tori was talking about Aviv toes. Well, that was Michelle.
Well, that was Michelle. I want, just for me, I want to see what everybody's karma point score card is. Not like it, I don't need to see
I
it show up
never
on
want
it.
to see a karma vote ever again. I don't even really want to see it here. I never ever want to see this again. I don't care what the results of it is. I never want to see a challenge where how you treat people has any impact on your placement in the final. People who weren't even good enough to get to the final. Are you kidding me? How I treated the losers? No, this
What
ain't
do you
Survivor,
really
baby.
feel?
I don't want to watch like if I want to watch Survivor, I just go watch Survivor. This is not
That's
Survivor.
valid.
Like
That's fair. That's
get
fair.
this out of here.
Well, everybody's a
If
Viacom
you want
property
me
now.
gone, like call me to the sand and send me home. If you want me gone, or if you don't want me to win a final, beat me in a final. Meet me there, beat me there, or get rid of me before the finals come. You couldn't do either. You got sent home. Why do I care? Like, why do I care how much you liked the people who beat you?
Paragama does not like the
And
karma
the
vote
thing
in
is,
case
like,
anyone's missing
also
it.
too, I feel like I'm not even like mad at this because people I like are gonna be disadvantaged because I feel like the karma votes are gonna help Derek. They're probably gonna help Rachel. These are people that I like, right? Like, and it's probably gonna hurt Bananas. I've been a banana hater, although I'm a super fan this season.
You are a Bananas Angels this
Right?
year.
And like people that I'm like kind of like on the fence on are like mostly neutral on, like Jenny and Kylan, which I've kind of like liked them more. I don't think like Karma is really good. I'm assuming Karma is not really gonna like push them all the way over the top or really like bring them down because like most
Yeah.
people probably have neutral feelings on them. So it's not that I think that somebody that I like is going to be disenfranchised in some way. It's just that I hate the concept of like, I hate that like I'm just like as on principle against the idea of having the losers of the challenge. This ain't Survivor. The losers of the challenge dictating who gets money, especially because I still have to like do things to get the
Yeah,
money.
that's
Like,
fair.
right? And now you're gonna it's like when the Survivor hourglass, it's like you won't know this. It's like winning like if I win, no matter who it is, no matter who wins, and I'm not like a Jordan fan as much as I respect him. I'm not a
Yeah,
Jordan fan. I would have rather not see him win. I would have rather seen a Kylan win. But if I do enough to win and people are largely like neutral or have negative feelings about me, and then that is just enough for somebody to overtake me because, you know, like they were close by, they like pulled it together. Like I'm losing $300,000. Like this ain't like small money. Like this is
yeah, that's
life
fair.
changing money. No matter how good you're doing, you like $300,000 to have you doing a whole lot better.
Yeah,
So nah, you're walling. You're wilding. I'm sending it.
that's
Absolutely
fair.
crashing out. Like I'm absolutely crashing out if I'm in their position. I want to see how it works, but
I just
then
love the
I never
idea.
want to see it again.
That's fair. I just love the idea of you going on a John Wick tour against all of the producers of the
And
challenge.
honestly, John Wick was like really kind because it won't even be that methodical. I'm grabbing the nearest chair and it's just WWE. Like, like
Not tables, ladders, and
as
chairs
soon as
match.
TJ says, "Oh, you were first place, but your karma points dropped you to third," I'm like, Mississippi, Mississippi boat. Where's the folding chair? Let's get it popping.
You were not the Montgomery Brawl chair. Honestly, T, that's fair. I would absolutely be pile driving TJ. That
Yeah,
is no,
yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah, oh no, oh no, it's gonna be sick.
I can't wait now. Now that you've exercised your rage about this, I truly cannot wait to see
I
what
hate it. This
happens.
is why I like really haven't want to talk about it the whole season because
I know.
um
I love
I
it.
hate it. Absolutely hate it. No, this person feels how I feel.
Of course they do, because you're a regular challengee person. Well, my friend, there's no preview except for like a smidgen of time of TJ talking.
There's a preview.
Uh,
We see them
oh,
jumping and doing like we just see more water. There's not like a real preview of like what's the challenges to come, but we see them water. I thought I saw food. Saw people puking. I saw it. So maybe there's a food challenge coming up. And I
oh
don't think
God, I
Jenny
hope
can eat
not.
very well. And I think Tori and Rachel might be able to muscle through.
Well, muscle through.
Um,
We'll see, hopefully. I mean, and apparently we're spending more time on the Sinister
yeah, we're gonna be on the Sinister. Yeah.
until the boat is no more. I love this. Well, and then next week will be our last episode of this season of the
Well,
challenge.
reunion.
Oh my gosh, yes, we have a wait. Yes, I did know that. You did tell me that. Okay.
Um, do you have
I thought you
a
didn't
do you
like
have an
reunions.
I love the reunions. I hate how long that they've gotten, and I hate two-part reunions. But I
No.
always enjoy the reunions. If for nothing else, I just like to see all the people that went home dressed up. And I know my girl Nerissa is gonna be there. I know she's gonna surf fashion.
I'm excited. Again, I want to see, I don't need it to be recorded. I just want to physically see everybody's karma point card. I just want to flip through them like a little gallery.
mm,
We don't need to talk about it anymore, I promise.
okay, MVP.
Oh, I feel like Jordan deserves it just because he is crushing it and he's really being a triathlete and like really pulling it out in the water.
Yeah.
And then my honorable mention is Highland because he's trying his best.
Okay.
I know you hate that, but it's my honorable mention, and I took the MVP seriously. But it's clearly Jordan. I don't see Jordan losing at all, to be honest. But
Yeah, I don't think Jordan loses. I think Jordan wins.
oh,
That's a prediction I'm very comfortable making.
I
All
love
right.
this.
Well, that's all we have, folks. Thank you for watching. Again, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.
Boop, boop, bye.